Don't get,
Anyway,
like,
so
are you
right now we're doing a tier list.
all right?
Still on my mental health break side,
Hey,
but
no,
I
just
decided to
gonna
do
throw
these.
these
Yep.
up here because we never play
Just
these.
yeah,
Never
just put
play
just put some things
these.
up here that we never play, like Call of
Or
Duty
never played.
Online. There's Call of Duty Online right there.
I
Why
played
the
it
fuck?
actually.
You played it? Okay, well I guess you can get your opinion on it. I guess that matters.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's begin.
Okay,
Call of
so
Duty 4, instantly greatest of all
yeah,
time. No doubt. If you think
mhm.
Call of Duty 4 is not the greatest of all time, hey, you might want to go to see a therapist.
There's honestly a lot of things about COD 4 that I can say is pretty good. The campaign is great. I love the little side modes they have, like the speed running the campaigns that you could do, which is actually pretty enjoyable in my opinion. And the multiplayer, of course, is stellar. If you don't think that it isn't at least good or great, then I'm honestly not know what to tell you. It revolutionized Call of Duty as we know it.
I
There's
think
a
it's
lot of
also
good
one
about
of the
it.
most. I think it's one of the most balanced Call of Duty multiplayer I've seen. I never have like, um, seen anyone complain about certain weapons or like loadout. Everything just feels balanced.
Yeah, I think
Juggernaut
of
was
all
good.
Call of Duties, I think this has to be the most balanced involving weapons. Perks, probably not, but weapons are pretty
And
good.
it wasn't grindy.
Oh, for sure, no.
Yeah, it was not a grindy game. Every loadout is just handed to you, and you just like play it. And as long as you play it, you get other guns and you unlock some other kits. It just felt smooth and it felt nice to play. Next, Call of Duty at War. I think
everyone
this
knows
is just
on my
yeah.
channel
This,
that
this,
I'm.
I'm sorry.
Everyone knows
This
on my
goes up
channel
here.
that I'm a World of War glazer, and there's a lot of reasons as to why I love the campaign. The multiplayer, people won't agree with me saying that it's good, but I think it was pretty good for itself, like especially for its time. And to this day, I still enjoy myself here and there. Zombies, of course, one of the best side modes we've ever gone in Call of Duty.
Honestly, like I think everyone says like the multiplayer at War was like mid. I actually like the map design. It feels
Yeah.
it feels good. It feels immersive. You know, it feels like, you know, there's like thought put into it. There's like the details on it felt nice. Next one, Modern Warfare 2.
Also,
Person-
pretty great.
I think it's great. I don't think it's fantastic, but I think it's great.
I think it's fantastic, honestly. The reason
Really?
being is because the reason I say is, if anything, we could like probably agree with it on like bottom fantastic. The reason being is because campaign really good, and it had Spec Ops, also one of the best side modes we've ever done. It was really fun being able to explore with not only just yourself to get all the 3 stars, but there are certain missions that are pretty good you can do with friends. Although I don't like that there are specific missions that are 2 players only, because I think that's kind of stupid. I wish they would just do the bots or whatever, but that wasn't a thing back in this day. And the multiplayer, although very unbalanced, the weapons were very unbalanced. That's the chaotic nature of Modern Warfare 2 what made it fun. Something that will never be able to be recreated ever in Call of Duty history. I don't think there has ever been any Call of Duty that's been recreated this chaotic before. One-man army, the noob tubes, the grenade launchers, all that kind of shit. The terrible WA-2000, something like that we would never see. I guess honestly, I love Modern Warfare 2.
I think what made Modern Warfare 2, I think it was like in the middle between fantastic and great, is the fact that the multiplayer, every gun feels broken. And the kill time on every gun just feels so fast. I kind of like it, but I also dislike it too. Because it just feels, just feels broken. But then again, if everything is broken, nothing is broken. And the only thing I don't like about this game is actually the campaign. I feel like the campaign I genuinely think the campaign kind of slide away from that kind of gritty, realistic, you know, slow pace military, you know, campaign. And instead they opted for much more fast paced, action packed. Granted, it did gain a lot of attraction because how action-packed it is, but I actually much prefer the realism. Like the mission, like Gilly Up from Modern Warfare, it just feels nice because how slow and how methodical it is, and it feels like you're an actual like Spec Ops operator operating deep under enemy territory. But Modern Warfare 2 just felt like you're a super soldier, and I didn't like that.
I think this is when we were getting to that point of like super soldier kind of as characters, which I will agree on that. There are certain parts about it that's great, but there are a lot of parts in Modern Warfare 2 that were very memorable and something we will never forget.
Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I'll let you throw some shades at it. Go ahead.
Throw some shade? Honestly, I don't really have too many shades about in this game. I
really
love Black Ops 1. I don't think a lot of people really like it too much because Black Ops 2 exists, as well as Modern Warfare 2 and COD World War. People don't really like it too much because it gets overshadowed a little too much. I think it's kind of weird. It's overshadowed by Black Ops 2 because it's campaign, but I kind of like the campaign.
I found the brother.
Because
I was gonna put this in my guilty pleasure. I was like, I know people will like this. I know some people that dislike Black Ops 1, but I absolutely love Black Ops 1. The settings, the gritty settings. It like you. Oh my god! The campaign just feels dark. It feels so metal, and I absolutely love it. Like we go back to somewhat of that gritty battlefield sense, and I love that. And I think the multiplayer are also feels nice too. The kill time is not too quick, but it's also not too slow. It emphasized a lot on movement, and I felt that Black Ops 1 did great, and it was one of my most favorite COD games. It's such a guilty pleasure for me.
It felt great being able to actually earn your weapons in multiplayer without it being like, oh, level up, you get it. No, this time you have to buy it with in-game credit, and I think that was one of the most interesting parts of Black Ops 1 multiplayer that never got implemented ever again, and I think that sucks. I want to be able to earn the weapons as if I'm like actually going to a shop to buy these weapons, but nowadays we get microtransactions. Really fucking awful. And zombies, one of the best. I don't think I said this on my Black Ops 1 reviews. I don't think there are any bad Black Ops 1 maps. They're all pretty good in their own aspect. Some are overshadowed by many others. I'm willing to be like Shangri-La or 5 for the most part, but all of them were really damn good. And I don't think there has ever been a game like Black Ops 1 that gives me as much goosebumps as like World of War or Black Ops 2. I would never ever put this below S or A tier of anything, to be generous. I honestly think it's one of the GOATs out there. And
I'll keep it at the guilty pleasure, since
yeah, there are
we both think
some
it's great.
There are some that don't like it, and I can see why. It's not the greatest out there, but it's not bad at all. It's really fucking good. You just gotta give it a chance.
Next one, Modern Warfare 3. I'll just say it. I think it was mid.
Really?
I honestly think it was mid. I think the campaign felt very lackluster. It felt like it just felt so. It doesn't have the same feeling as Modern Warfare 1 or 2. It's not no longer feel like an action pack like Modern Warfare 2, nor a very realistic spec ops shooter like Modern Warfare 1. It's something that is caught in between, and it just doesn't have a place in my heart. I'm sorry. The multiplayer, I would say, it feels good, but that's the only redeeming quality for me. It's between good and mid.
Yeah, people like to shit on it, saying it's mid or it's bad, and even people were saying like it's like a DLC of MW2, and especially since they re-added all the weapons from MW2 into Black Ops 3, not Black Ops 3, Modern Warfare 3, and then added some new weapons here and there. But I think it's one of the coolest, especially since they added face-off, some other game modes that were really enjoyable, like Infected. Especially Infected. Like Infected was in Modern Warfare 3, and that was one of the greatest times I ever had in my life. I love the campaign. Now this is when they were really going with the whole superhuman shit. But it had some really memorable scenes, especially like Soap's death, Yuri being revealed as one of Makarov's men, and him being there throughout the Modern Warfare series, and being able to kill off one of the most evilest character of all time felt really rewarding. Especially since this is the first ever time where you can actually fail a mission. like you were a president's bodyguard and now you got killed, but the president also got captured as well as his daughter. And I think that was one of the most coolest subversion of my expectations, that since every mission you go through, you always succeed in some way. Unless, like, one example being Black Ops 1 when you got captured by Dragovich and the others, but you still overall got the mission done and everyone else escaped, so you still got a mission succeeded, whatever. The Spec Ops, honestly, kind of forgettable. I don't remember a single thing from Spec Ops, but I do like the survival mode. Survival mode is really fucking fun. I remember being on a very high round in survival mode and there's a bunch of juggernauts. I overall think it's good, not great, just that overall I think it could have done many things better, especially since it was very controversial, like the bombing of France and the gas leaking out in one of the scenes and killing a family with a kid there. Like, that was honestly kind of shocking, something you would not really see too much nowadays. And especially with
yeah, we really glance over No Russian.
Yeah, well, yeah, No Russian exists, but if we mention it, it's like beating a dead horse.
That's true. Yeah,
it's been
most
mentioned
people,
so many times.
most people know it.
No one talks about the fact that a kid and a mother and a dad were murdered in cold blood by someone like Makarov, all because he wanted to like send a message or something like that. Like, I think that's what people a lot love to like overlook.
All right, next, Call of Duty 2, Black Ops 2. I think it's fantastic. I think it's above Modern Warfare 2. Do you agree or disagree? What's your thought on it?
I think it's... Man, there's a lot of opinions I have about this game. It's best campaign of all time for next to World of War, especially since it has many endings. One of the... No, not even. It has the best multiplayer I've ever played in my entire life. Now, since I'm a zombie YouTuber for now, yeah, we did not start off the greatest. We got Transit. We had to play Town for a while, and then we got Die Rise. That did not go as well. Many people did not like it. I think it's okay nowadays, whatever, but definitely not good.
I actually like the crew.
No, I hate the crew.
I actually kind of like the crew.
The Victor's crew is really annoying. Stuhling and Jerry Martin are really fucking annoying. Misty and most of them are fine, but those two, I don't like them. Hell, we got Nuketown. For whatever reason, we got Nuketown zombies, and it was not that good. Pretty boring, up to like zombie standards compared to like Knockdown Totem.
I think the only reason why I don't like Nuketown Zombie is because how small the map is. Like, I understand that you could go, like, there is some other areas in the map, but I think it's just too small for me.
But then we got
size matter, boy.
We got maps like Mob the Dead. We got Origins, we got Buried. Hell, we got a new game mode that never made its return, Turned, and Grief. They were all really fucking fun. And I'm really sad that we never got these game modes back because...
I have never played Grief.
You never played Grief? Oh, you
I actually never played Grief. What's the game mode? Basically,
it's a 4v4, and they added a new drop called Meat, where you get to throw this meat at the enemy, and all zombies will go after them, for example, right? You could shoot the enemies. They don't kill you, but it slows you down. And overall, it's just your team against another team against the zombies, and whoever survives the longest, that team wins. And it was only on the transit maps. It was on Mob of the Dead, where you're the officer versus the prisoners. And that was... I'm pretty sure it was on Nuketown. No, I don't think it was on Nuketown, but it was overall a really fun game mode. They didn't add too much on the maps that were on here, but something like Turn, though. Turn was hella fun. It was only on Transit and Buried, but they were still really fun to play. Being able to become a zombie was something we never really seen before, until, you know, back in the day, World at War, where there was a zombie weapon where you become a zombie called Brains, but it was a very weak melee weapon, weaker than the regular knife you had in round 1, so there's nothing to really write home to. I think Black Ops 2 is overall the best Call of Duty we've ever gotten of our lifetime. And
would you bump it up to greatest of all time?
Greatest of all time for sure. Hell, I would put it right next to World of War. because I'm not sure which I would say is better because they're both really fucking good. But if I had to, because they're really competitive against each other. Because World of War doesn't have a bad map, I'm willing to believe, while Black Ops 2 Zombies has like 2 to 3 maps that are pretty forgettable, or at least were memorable for the wrong reason. While their campaign is fucking stellar, and the character, especially, rest in peace to the voice actor Ron Menendez, one of the best villains we've ever done of our lifetime, right next to Makarov. It was really fucking good.
Okay, so let's move on. Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy! All right.
It is not even a guilty pleasure to talk about this map.
It's.
I think it's bad. I don't want to say it's trash. Honestly,
I don't think it's trash. I think
bad,
the I actually, you know what's funny? I actually kind of like the campaign.
Even though it copied off some parts of Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, it did copy off. It wasn't not bad. It was mid. The campaign was like, you know, it's enjoyable. Kind of not necessarily a breath of fresh air, but it's definitely like, you know, it's not completely horrible. You know, it's pretty.
It felt
pretty
like a
mid.
movie. It felt like a movie that was. Felt like it was never gonna end. Honestly, I don't know. But
other than that multiplayer, horrible.
Yeah, and the fact that it had no theater mode, that was the worst part. It had no theater mode, so you wouldn't be able to like check out clips, what happened out there. That was really cool. Like I remember one time, me and my brother did a ninja defuse on that shit, and we found out there was no theater mode. Oh, that broke our heart. And Extinction very forgettable.
You know how forgettable. I completely forgot it even existed. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually completely forgot.
Because Zombies is worldwide known. Like, why would you remember something like Extinction? It's literally just a mission-based game mode. Although something we would get later on, it wasn't as bad as Call of Duty Ghosts, where it was just, oh, if you want to kill aliens some more, you have to do this part of the mission to do so. And I think that's what really killed off the Extinction, because it's not endless at all. Once you kill all the aliens on the map, they don't respawn until you do something else. And that's what they really missed out on, and that doesn't really make any sense to me. Of course, I never played any other of the map. I only played the first map. I don't even remember what the fuck it was called. Just that we were near a fucking motel. And that was it. I don't remember anything else. Although there were some parts, like the perk system in the multiplayer was actually really damn good. Other than that, it was a very memey kind of Call of Duty, especially with Snoop Dogg being in the game as an announcer or like as a character himself. It was a strange time for Call of Duty. But Advanced Warfare, I'll be honest, that shit is mid as fuck.
Yeah, I think it's mid. Yeah,
I want to say it's a guilty pleasure because the multiplayer can be pretty nice sometimes, but the campaign is so forgettable.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't remember a shit.
I don't like the only thing I think that Modern Warfare has brought us that is the greatest is the press F to pay respect.
Yep, yes sir.
Other than that, the only thing I could say that is good about this game is the trailer for the zombies.
Yeah,
was actually pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Plus the introduction to it too,
where like you're the lone
soldier. The survival game mode all to the very end, which is very grindy. I will say it is a pretty grindy thing. You have to be all the way over there. You have to be a pretty good player to get all the way over there. When you do the final mission, it turns into zombies. I think that was really cool. And then it was the introduction to it.
Where like you ran out of ammo and you turn around and you see hordes of zombies banging at the glass, and you have to use your exosuit to jump up on the helicopter to extract, and the guy who helped you gets pulled down, and you just see like a horde of zombies. And I genuinely love that scene.
That was
of
really
just hordes of zombies climbing on each other. Other than that, the idea. But the gameplay of the zombie itself, I hate to admit it, like, it's awful. I did not like Exo Zombies. The trailer was well done, and the introduction of the characters also well done, but it just felt so lackluster. The gameplay, the way they turn, like, max ammo into, like, I don't know, they reword all of the drops nukes, max ammo, insta kill. I think insta kill was turned into like hyper damage. I was just
Yeah,
like, oh,
hyper damage.
God.
Yeah.
It was so nerdy for like I just like
Yeah,
oh
I think this is the nerdiest of our time. They're like hyper damage. What was it called? Exo health for Juggernog, some shit like that. That's the weird part. Everything was exo related, and I can understand why, because you couldn't get the perks until you got the exo suit. But like, exo health, exo slam, really? Why do I have to get exo slam to get the other ability?
The thing is also the weapon. I cannot resonate with any of the weapon. It's just too futuristic. Where it's just like it look at it is you have. I remember one of the shotgun was like it shoots air. Yeah, it just shoots like a air blast, and I was like, it's effective.
Oh, the TAC 45.
Yeah, it just like. It just felt like it doesn't feel good, you know. Like
I remembered the name of that awful shotgun.
It wasn't awful. It was actually it's actually very effective. You pack a punch it
25 times. Hello, 25 times for it to be effective.
Oh, yeah, you could pack multiple times.
It wouldn't matter until you finally get to like what PAP 10, and that was still not as good.
But yeah,
but let's not forget. For my zombies fan, lightning round here. One, the character who got pulled down from the helicopter, that was actually a campaign character, so I think they were combining the campaign with the zombie mode, which I think was pretty cool. Secondly, we had to pay $20 to get that fucking game mode. Let's not forget that was the worst.
I think this is the beginning of the corporate greed era.
Yep, because we got supply drops the first ever time. Holy shit. That was bad. But that gets worse because the next game, Black Ops 3, that gets so much worse. Let me get the negatives out the fucking way, because I am reviewing it currently.
There is only... Can I go first real quick?
You do it.
The only reason I even put this in good is completely biased. And the only reason why I said that is because me, Lucky, and Bacon have stumped hours into zombies. Not multiplayers, not campaign, but hours into zombies.
Yeah.
We even got Zombie Chronicles, and we played the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason why I'm putting it good. It's completely biased because the memory I have created with Bacon and Lucky.
Yeah.
Other than that, campaign, I don't even remember what happened. All I remember is there was this tree and there was this little girl, and then there was the time where I shoot a bunch of flies at the enemy and they died and my arms got ripped off, and that's it. That's all I remember.
Oh,
it was the most like forgettable campaign I ever played in my entire life. And the multiplayer with like the specialist, I'm gonna say it. I didn't like the specialist. I think the purifier was completely broken. I think the gravity spike was like the most brain dead ability.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And I hated the who was that character? Where he like if you kill him, he could reject back.
Really? You hate Nomad? He's not even that good. He's like one of the worst.
No. The reason why I hated him is because he is bad, and I thought he was a cool ass character. I was like, he could throw these swarm things. He could reject back from the dead, and I was like, oh, this character's so cool. I grind, unlocked his thing, and then just to find out he's literally one of the worst characters.
Yeah, and then you have Purify, where you get touched by the fire one time,
you just die.
A glimpse, you die. That was the most stupidest shit ever. But now when it comes to me and the negatives, holy fuck! I put up on my post that I was trying out the Nightmare game mode. I did not play the campaign. I played the Nightmare version of the campaign, and I might make a video on this after if I ever get back into Black Ops 2 because of all the problems with the hackers. Holy shit, one of the worst campaigns I have ever played in my entire life.
Pretty sure there was zombies in it too.
There were zombies, there was the Insanity Elementals, the meatballs as we call them, and the vultures, or they're not the name, I fucking forgot, the parasites. The parasites were stronger and they two-shot you.
Is that the one that
2 to 3 shot
flies?
you. Yeah, they 2 to 3 shot you in the game. And it's honest to God one of the worst things they have ever made in Call of Duty Black Ops. I would rather just play Black Ops 4 for the fact that it had no campaign. And that's honestly one of the worst things you could ever say about Black Ops 3. The campaign, you could say is bad, but Black Ops 3's Nightmare mode was even worse. Because Jason Blundell, yes, the Jason Blundell that we know and love, made this story with someone else, I forgot. And he connected gods into this story with zombies, and honest to God, it was one of the worst and out of nowhere thing I've ever expected.
It felt like they went on
Acid
they went on
trip.
acid trip. Did some cocaine and then like smoked a joint and then produced this, and I'm just
Plus,
like, wow.
there was a mystery box too, right? And that's whatever, because zombies, right? But there were 3 things in the mystery box that were never explained as to their reason for being there. There was brass knuckles, a shelf, I believe, and a flower in the mystery box. You can never get them, ever. I tried as much as I did, but you can never get them. And their relevancy in the story, God, if I fucking know it. I don't know what the relevancy of the flower was in the story, or the brass knuckles. You'll see Shadows of Evil zombies, but they're not relevant at all. The campaign, of course, is forgettable. I think the multiplayer overall, although it's not terrible, I think it's okay. I already got Dark Matter on it, and I could definitely say my full-on opinion.
God,
The specials
Dark Matter.
are okay to a certain extent. It's just like he said, the gravity spikes, the purifier. Those characters exist, and they're pretty brain dead for the most part. But then you have characters like Sparrow or Seraph or even Spectre. They're pretty fucking to play, and I think they're pretty good. They're fine. Now for the positives, Dead Ops Arcade 2, hella fun. I love Dead Ops Arcade 2. I think it's still pretty fun to this day, and I'm glad they brought it back, and they brought it back even more in Cold War. And Zombies, we cannot forget. Zombies is the best here. Shadows of Evil, Their Eyes and Drunk. As much as I want to say I don't like the map, I think it's still pretty fucking good.
You didn't like Russian Shaka?
I really don't like it as much. It's overrated.
Really?
I made a video
It was one of
about
my.
it. I made a video about it. It's overrated. You could go look it up. But
Ah.
overall, it's still one of the greatest zombies we've ever got. I don't think there's a bad zombie map in Black Ops 3. It is all really damn good.
I think the
brought
only
a lot
map
of
I
good
didn't
things about
like-
it.
I think the only thing I didn't like was Zetsubo Shima. That was the only one I
Yeah,
didn't like.
Zetsubo, yeah, I was gonna make a review about that until my mental health break, as well as now the hackers are here, so I have to wait for that. Hopefully I can get back to it. But the one thing I will say, it's a great game, but what really brings it down to me is the campaign, Nightmare, and the supply drops was
Oh my god.
hella
The black
pay-to-win.
market.
It
The
was hella
black
pay-to-win.
market was so dumb. There was like certain weapons that you could only unlock through supply drops and through the black market, which you need COD points. I'm just like, you either could grind it and do like specific. I remember there was like a specific thing you could do and grind the COD points. Other than that, you just have to spend money on the supply drops, and I'm just like, oh god, it feels awful.